Hey guys, we're back for another week of Pauper Ponderings. My name is Austin. This is brought to you by the Mana Base. Check them out. Check us out online. New content every single day. www.themanabase.com. And this week on Pauper Ponderings, we have a bit of a sweet one. Last week, we tried to go fast with that red-green goggles deck. Well, this week, we're going to slow her down a little bit. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Lantern Control deck in Modern, but I would say that's the closest thing to this deck in Pauper. Now, we don't get Lantern of Insight, but we do get Thought Picker Witch. So Thought Picker Witch is a 1 black 1/1. You can sacrifice a creature and look at the top 2 cards of target opponent's library, then you exile one of them. So, in conjunction with cards like Renclaw Tro, which is a 3 mana 2/2 persist, and Safehold Elite, 2 mana 2/2 persist, you get a bunch of these sacrifices and can make it so your opponent basically always draws a land. So how do you get ahead? Well, you get ahead by maybe gaining some life when your creatures come into play with Essence Warden, or your creatures get +1/+1 counters. And herein lies, I guess, the combo. So with Thought Picker Witch, either of our persist creatures, an Ivy Denizen, then we can pay 1 mana to look at the top 2 cards of our opponent's deck and exile one of them. Which is pretty sweet, which means that for the rest of the game, without removal, they will never draw a relevant spell, essentially. So how do we win the game from there? Well, if you add an Essence Warden to that mix, we gain infinite life, because we can do this infinite number of times. We can say, well, we run out of mana. Well, that's what our good old friend Carrion Feeder's for. So he is our, once we've fixed our opponent's library for them, we then get to make a Carrion Feeder, a million, gain infinite life with Essence Warden, and essentially attack them into death if they don't just concede to the infinite life. Now, this is a very sweet deck. It is not my design. It was actually brought to me on Reddit here by the username LexorSC2. He did a pretty good video deck tech of it as well. If you can check his, I'll link it down in the comment, or I'll link it down in the video description. But yeah, at its root, it is a control deck looking to stop your opponent from drawing anything relevant with Thought Picker Witch. But then it also has kind of an I-win combo in the form of Carrion Feeder, Essence Warden, Ivy Denizen, and then one of these 2 persist creatures. Now, the good thing about this deck is that because we're in the Sultai colors, we get the Graveyard Recursion of Grapple with the Past, which is the new card from Eldritch Moon, which is, proved to be very good in Standard, also pretty good in Pauper. Allows you to fix your draws in this 3-color mana base. And then also getting back your key combo pieces like your Denizens or your Essence Wardens. We also get to play Grim Harvest, which is one of my favorite cards in Pauper. Very, very grindy. Again, 1 and a black, raise dead, but then it has Recover, which is when a creature is put in your graveyard from the battlefield. Recover triggers, you can pay the recover cost and bring it back to your hand. And if you don't, well, then it gets exiled. So we have that kind of engine. But then we're also playing blue, and what LexorSC2 said was that when he built this deck originally, it was just a green-black deck. But kind of what happened was if your opponent ever messed with the combo, then you didn't have the ability to reload. So that's what the Deep Analysis and Mulldrifters are for, is they allow you to reload and try the combo again, or just kind of get you the resources you need to win the game. Now, I've played a couple matches with this deck. I played against Mono Green Stompy. That did not seem particularly good, as you're a little bit slow and your removal is a little bit inefficient against them, as they have cards like Young Wolf and all sorts of just random, just useless creatures that they can pitch to this card. But I can see that, with the Shrivels and whatever in the sideboard can get better. I also played against a black-red control deck. Very close match. I think this deck is very difficult to play. There are lots of lines, as you can tell. Ivy Denizens with the persist creatures kind of triggering. We have Sakura Tribal to get us more lands. It is just on the whole a kind of a difficult deck to play. So, yeah, let's bring it to the sideboard here really quickly. So in the sideboard, this was the kind of the thing that LexorSC2 kind of said he wasn't too happy with. We have 3 Tragic Slips, we have 1 Chainer's Edict, 2 Shrivels, 3 Dispels, 3 Negates, and 3 Caustic Caterpillars. So cards I brought in were the Dispels and Negates against the red-black deck. I brought in the Shrivels against the mono-green deck, along with the Tragic Slips in both matchups. I think overall this deck is very powerful. The fact that you have this I-Win combo that, again, is pretty resilient due to the fact that we have Grapple with the Past, Grim Harvest, these draw spells, and then everything is just redundant. Like Renclaw Tro, and Safehold Elite, if they kill them once, if we're able to just find an Ivy Land Denizen and any other green creature, they essentially become themselves again, and then we're able to go through the combo. So this deck is very powerful. It does the things that I like to do in Pauper, which is have a decent early game, which we do have with, the Chainer's Edict into the Sakura Tribe Elder Safehold Elite, but then also have this, very potent late game with this game-ending combo. So I'm pretty excited to try this out. Thank you once again to Lexor SC2, and I will see you guys in round number 1.